Guess How Much I Love You. Story by Sam McBratney. With pictures by Anita Jerome. Music by Barry Gibson. Little Nutbrown Hare, who was going to bed, held on tight to Big Nutbrown Hare's very long ears. He wanted to be sure that Big Nutbrown Hare was listening. "Guess how much I love you," he said. "Oh, I don't think I could guess that," said Big Nutbrown Hare. "This much," said Little Nutbrown Hare, stretching out his arms as wide as they could go. Big Nutbrown Hare had even longer arms. "But I love you this much," he said. That is a lot," thought Little Nutbrown Hare. "I love you as high as I can reach," said Little Nutbrown Hare. "I love you as high as I can reach," said Big Nutbrown Hare. "That is quite high," thought Little Nutbrown Hare. "I wish I had arms like that." Then Little Nutbrown Hare had a good idea. He tumbled upside down and reached up the tree trunk with his feet. "I love you all the way up to my toes," he said. "And I love you all the way up to your toes," said Big Nutbrown Hare, swinging him up over his head. "I love you as high as I can hop," laughed Little Nutbrown Hare, bouncing up and down. "But I love you as high as I can hop," smiled Big Nutbrown Hare, and he hopped so high that his ears touched the branches above. "That's good hopping," thought Little Nutbrown Hare. "I wish I could hop like that." "I love you all the way down the lane as far as the river," cried Little Nutbrown Hare. "I love you across the river and over the hills," said Big Nutbrown Hare. "That's very far," thought Little Nutbrown Hare. He was almost too sleepy to think anymore. Then he looked beyond the thorn bushes, out into the big dark night. Nothing could be further than the sky. "I love you right up to the moon," he said, and he closed his eyes. "Oh, that's far," said Big Nutbrown Hare. "That is very, very far." Big Nutbrown Hare settled Little Nutbrown Hare into his bed of leaves. He leaned over and kissed him goodnight. Then he lay down close by and whispered with a smile, "I love you right up to the moon and back." Listen. Imagine a journey. We're out in the countryside. Can you hear? We're out and about with big Nutbrown Hare. And little Nutbrown Hare is hopping and bouncing about. Off they go together. It's a beautiful day. Where do you think they're going? Past the old tree? By a stile? Past the thorn bushes, under a gate, and out to the fields? Nearby, there are grasses and ferns and toadstools and snails about. Can you make one of your fingers creep and crawl like a snail? The Nutbrown Hares are sniffing around the plants. Can you sniff like a hare might do? And there are insects near buzzing about. You buzz too. And then, up above the old creaking tree, what can you hear? Of course, the birds singing their hearts out. Try whistling along with them. From the top of the hill, little Nutbrown Hare and big Nutbrown Hare can see far into the distance down the lane to, what do you think? Yes, the river, waving its watery way through the hills, a long, long way away, far away. I wonder if you've ever been somewhere that's far away from home. Little Nutbrown Hare is getting sleepy now. Night's falling, and it's beginning to get dark. Together, they look up at the sky. Far, far, far away. Farther than they can reach. Out comes the moon. Listen again and see how many sounds in the story you can guess. Did you hear little Nutbrown Hare and big Nutbrown Hare hopping and bouncing about? Then an old tree creaking and bushes rustling. And then music for a snail slithering all around. Listen again. I wonder what sounds are coming next. Yes, there were some insects. There were bees buzzing and grasshoppers scratching. And up in the sky there were birds singing. And lastly, some music for the moon at night. As little Nutbrown Hare snuggled up in his bed of leaves,